So I got started competitive shooting when I was 7 years old. My dad enrolled me in the local JC BB gun program at our local gun store. It was an enrollment to get me to be a better hunter, not necessarily to be a competitive marksman, but eventually I just kept shooting after I learned that I really enjoyed doing it, and I never really stopped. I kept shooting through college, and now I'm shooting for the Army. The thing I enjoy most about shooting, besides obviously the people, have a lot of friends in shooting, I really enjoy the puzzle aspect of the sport. There's a lot of little pieces that you have to piece together to get your position to feel just right and shoot the best score you possibly can. So it's a very mental intensive sport, and that's what I enjoy so much about it. There are definite ranges that I would say I felt like home. Back in high school, our local range, I shot late at night, got a pizza, spent the night at the range, and woke up the next morning and to shoot some more. I definitely feel comfortable at ranges, walking around and seeing all the competitors shooting. It just feels normal to me. So I didn't originally think that I was going to be an Olympian, or ever really thought that that was a path I wanted to take. But sometime around mid-high school, I remember myself thinking that if I could be one of the people who, make a difference from their schools or their communities, and their name gets remembered, like an Olympian or a professional football player or something like that, that was something I wanted. So my dream of the Olympics kind of began at that point. The desire to become an Olympian it's the pinnacle of all sporting achievement. I mean, it only happens every 4 years, and there are very, very few select people who are able to call themselves Olympians, and I wanted to count myself among that small group of shooters that are saying they're an Olympian who's represented the U.S. Being an Olympian is a very emotional experience. I definitely know that I have had a lot of emotions, not just happiness, but like relief, ecstasy, just all bundled up every time I think that I get to hear that Olympic theme song when I'm on TV or they announce my name. That goes along with it, and that's something that always has given me goosebumps. So being able to qualify for the Olympics alongside Sergeant Madalena, it's going to make things a little bit easier, I think, because I have somebody who's got the same intensity and the same drive for these next couple of months that I do, and it's going to make training a lot more competitive and intense, and we can build off of that, work off of each other. So my grandfather on my mom's side, who I was named after, Ivan Litherland, he was a lieutenant colonel in the Army Air Defense. And then my uncle, he retired as a commander in the Navy. He was in charge of multiple submarines during his tenure. Originally, when I joined, it wasn't because I wanted to be third generation military. It was because I wanted a way to shoot and continue shooting. But my uncle, he said to me one time that he was proud that I was wearing the uniform as well, and at that point it kind of sank in that I'm carrying on a tradition that my family has held for a while. So I wouldn't say being a soldier helps my competitive marksmanship abilities, but I would say my competitive marksmanship abilities helps me being a soldier. There's a lot of aspects from competitive shooting, such as patience, attention to detail, like perseverance through all the rough stuff that can translate well to being a soldier. So I think that what I learned growing up shooting has transferred over well to becoming a soldier. I think the thing that made me most stand out in my shooting, obviously other than my socks, is my consistency. I have been ranked one of the top small bore shooters, if not the top small bore shooter, for the majority of the quad. And ever since March of last year, I was the top air gun shooter, and I just held that position and proved that time and again I deserved to be there. What I'm looking forward to most about Paris, it's a cultural center of cuisine, and I'm currently trying to write my own cookbook, and I really enjoy food and baking, and France is known for their pastries and a very unique cuisine, and I'm looking forward to trying that. I definitely would have liked to meet Michael Phelps. Unfortunately, he's not going to be there this time because he's retired, but I remember watching him in Beijing on TV, winning all those gold medals, and that was very inspiring for a little 12-year-old to watch that, and I thought it was one of the coolest things ever. My biggest supporters are definitely my family, my wife, and my close friends. They've always been supporting me, watching me compete, going to my matches, even if it's all the way across the country. They'll wake up at 2 a.m. to watch my targets when I'm shooting overseas. They've always been the first ones to say congratulations to me. My favorite event is definitely the 50-meter three-position event, or Smallbore, because it's not just one singular position like air rifle that you have to commit to the process and do it 60 times in a row. To me, that's honestly a little bit tedious. Smallbore is a lot more dynamic because you have to deal with the weather, you have to deal with multiple positions, and you have to balance all of that throughout the day. So if it's not windy in the morning, it could be windy in the afternoon, and you have to constantly adjust for that and come up with new solutions on the fly to whatever problem you encounter, and that's definitely what I enjoy most. Knowing I'm going to be representing the U.S., and not just the U.S. but the Army at the Olympics, it's a pretty big weight. It's something I'm very proud of. I'm a third-generation military, and I'm a proud American, so it's a heavy weight, but it's one that I'm really happy that I get to represent both the U.S. and the Army.